Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Be the change, change the world, where it's not just a nice idea, but it's an initiative and a lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel, whichever the case may be. I'm glad that you're here, whether it's your first time or you're returning. Thank you so much. I just wanted to announce that my availability is open for personal readings as well as birth chart analyses. So if anyone is interested in any of those services, the description box where you can find everything down there. My legal disclaimer, the list of my services, prices, payment methods, and my email is down there as well. So if you're interested, go check it out. If not, that's fine. You can show your support just by clicking the like button and the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel. So thanks in advance for all of that. I actually pulled a few cards here and I decided to just start recording. This is going to be a heavy reading. It's very depressing already, but there's a message here for somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. The first card that came out is the Nine of Swords in the upright. So the Nine of Swords is depression, anxiety, not being able to sleep at night, just constant, incessant worrying and overthinking. And at the bottom of the deck, I pulled the Empress in the reverse. The Empress in the reverse is someone who is not very nice. They're not kind, they're not compassionate, they're not caring. They're not abundant. They rely on others for their abundance. This is someone who is manipulative and I'm hearing irresponsible. So it doesn't necessarily mean irresponsible for the Empress in reverse. That is just the message that I got in addition to what the card means. The Empress in reverse is either Libra or Taurus. Both signs are ruled by Venus. So those signs could be anywhere in this person's chart. The Empress is a mother, but this is a mother who's not very nurturing or compassionate. They're going through it. They're going through a really rough time. We got the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this is somebody who lacks integrity and someone who is very insecure. And this is someone who they really just lack that integrity, you know. Let's find out what this is all about. It's the Seven of Wands on the upright. That's all about standing up for your beliefs. But this person caves when it comes to their beliefs, at least for right now. So we've got the Queen of Wands in the upright. And that is all the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They could have any of those fire signs in their chart. This could also be someone else. The Queen of Wands is someone who is confident, someone who is bold, passionate, hardworking. They're a real go-getter, and they're just really fun and spontaneous and energetic. Someone who's very confident in themselves. And then we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So the Six of Swords in the upright is all about moving away to calmer waters. But this is the opposite. This is returning to chaos. perhaps the Empress in the reverse is worrying about a Queen of Wands here, because the Queen of Wands is clarifying the Nine of Swords. So they're constantly worrying about this person. I'm just going to say that for most people, this is going to be a different person, because the Queen of Wands is in the upright, the Empress is in the reverse. These are two different energies. And if anyone is in the reverse, they're typically not going to be in the upright in another spot. So these are two different people. But the Empress in reverse, this mother, who, like I had already described, this Empress in reverse, they're really worried about this Queen of Wands here. This Queen of Wands has Aries, Leo, Sagittarius anywhere in their chart. It doesn't matter. It could resonate wherever. And the Six of Swords is, this is just a very chaotic energy. And they keep coming back to it. And they won't leave it alone. And this is basically someone who is off their rocker and worried about someone else. At the top of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. The Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, this is someone who is not consistent. They're very inconsistent. It's a very stuck energy. This is someone who is stubborn. They're just really not going anywhere in life. And the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is clarifying the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this is definitely highlighting that insecurity that this Empress in reverse has, and their lack of integrity. And this person's been like this for a long time. At the bottom of the deck was the Knight of Cups. So this Empress in the reverse is worried about some kind of a love offer, some kind of romantic gesture towards a Queen of Wands. Knight of Cups could be, a date. It doesn't necessarily have to be a offer of a relationship right away. But this is something that the Empress in the reverse is up all night worrying about and having nightmares about. They're very insecure about it. However, I understand those emotions, and I can remember being there in the past, just really going through it like this. But at the same time, there is a lot of healing that this Empress in reverse could be doing, and they're not doing it. This is a very low vibing, feminine energy. They're just in this very low negative vibration here, with all this worrying and obsessive thinking and depression and anxiety, and just reveling in this chaos. And that's just how they operate. And anyone who is healed, they don't operate like this. Not hardly at all. But, this is someone who has been very used to doing this for such a long time. This is just how they were programmed to behave. And then perhaps, along the line, there were people in this person's life who have catered to them, and not just catered to them, but they enabled this person. So they just never change their ways, even though their ways are extremely toxic. What's the main message here? Why am I getting a message about this karmic feminine who is very low vibing and worrying about someone else? We got the King of Wands in the upright. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, masculine energy. Could be anywhere in their chart. And the Ten of Pentacles. So this toxic feminine is worried about this pairing. They're worried about the attraction between the two. They're worried about how this is an energetic match. Perhaps this Empress in the reverse is married to this King of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles here. And they're just worrying that, they've fallen in love with someone else, or they're attracted to someone else, and they're worried about, them dating and falling in love, and they're worried about losing their Ten of Pentacles here. This is someone who is very insecure and very financially unstable and only worried about their financial stability here. It's pretty sad because this Empress in reverse misbehaves and they do whatever they feel like doing, and they don't have any remorse until, something's endangered here, like their marriage. And it's all because they have this refusal to change. And they're very insecure, and they operate in a very chaotic way. And in some cases, they're emotionally abusive, mentally abusive, financially exploitative. So this chaotic karmic feminine has just done whatever they wanted for so long, and they're now starting to experience the consequences of their actions. And if not now, then soon. And if not soon or now, it's in the past. So however this resonates for you, that's actually what I'm seeing here on my table. I'm feeling a very petty energy from this Empress in the reverse. They're very entitled, and they feel like they should be able to do whatever they feel like doing. But, now their behavior is catching up with them, and their financial stability is in jeopardy. Perhaps their place of residence is in jeopardy here. And, like I said, this could be past, present, or future energy. And it'll be different for everyone who is watching here. But this is someone who really needs to change their ways and stop behaving in such a toxic way. What are the final messages? Self-respect. This karmic feminine does not have any self-respect. And that is the message. That is the main message, other than the fact that they're worried about their financial security here. They're the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, but the Ten of Pentacles in the upright. They're definitely relying on this King of Wands for their financial security. And perhaps if this karmic feminine had more self-respect, perhaps they would, try harder to not be the way that they are. I don't know how many readings, I've done, for advice for karmic feminines. And I'm still getting the karmic feminine energy on my table. So my advice is either not it's not being reached or it's being ignored. But there is a matter of the real need for self-respect here. I'm getting that this karmic feminine is very desperate to stay in this marriage for their financial and residential security. And because they're so desperate, they just don't have any self-respect. They will do whatever it takes to try to maintain what they have without earning anything, without deserving anything. This is someone who will do as little as possible to get the maximum benefits and rewards, and just not behave right, not treat others the way that they should. They don't really care about how they're treating other people until it starts affecting them negatively, until they're scared that they're going to lose everything that they have. Well, I don't feel too sorry for that, because, you get what you give. And if you don't give anything at any time, what is being given to the karmic feminines out there, it can be taken back at any time. And rightly so. Because if they're not being reciprocal, and if they're only giving out chaos and bullshit and negative energy, that's what they can expect to get back, or just absolutely nothing. So the only time these karmics are really in their feelings is when they know that they could really lose everything that they have that they never worked for. And I think that that's what perhaps they're the most insecure about in the first place, is they don't even believe that they have the capacity to be able to support themselves, because they haven't been in a situation where they've been forced to take care of themselves. They've been taken care of and waited on hand and foot. And then they never appreciated anything that was ever given to them. I don't feel sorry for that either. Because whenever you take people for granted that are doing so much for you, and you're giving little and you or they are giving little in return, this is just a big message of self-respect. Not just for the karmic feminine, but for the masculine energy too, this King of Wands. Perhaps the King of Wands needs the message of self-respect too, to stand up for themselves. Perhaps that's what's happening here. Before I read the prayer for self-respect, I want to find out what the energy of the King of Wands here is. What's the energy of the King of Wands? What's the King of Wands doing? Oh, snap. The card that came out is the Hierophant in the reverse. King of Wands is or will be or has already been seeking divorce. That's what this is about. The King of Wands has the self-respect to say, hey, I'm not getting anything back that I've been giving that's really worth my time or my energy. I've been getting a lot of crap back, and I've been giving so much. I've been working so hard, and it's just expected of me all the time. And, the masculine energy is absolutely drained. Masculine energy is standing up for themselves, and the karmic feminine is in their feels about it, because they're about to lose everything that they're clinging on to. And it's just the direct result of the consequences of their own behavior. So the signs we have on the board is Taurus, Libra, Taurus, and fire signs, and earth signs, and water signs. So the karmic feminine also needs to hear the message of self-respect too, because they're so desperate. And they'll do anything in their desperation. And that's pretty sad, because it's meaningless. Everything that they do out of desperation is just to serve the function of them being able to get those tangible financial rewards and stability. They behave themselves long enough to get into a safe zone, so to speak. And then they go right back to mistreating all over again. This is a cycle that the karmic feminine has to avoid letting go. And this is a lesson for the masculine as well, to learn how to let go of someone who doesn't appreciate you, doesn't help you, doesn't reciprocate with you. They just expect. And all they do is treat the masculine like crap. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see myself as you see me, through the eyes of love. Thank you for honoring and respecting me. Please guide me to do the same for myself, and grant me the courage to speak up on my own behalf. I ask for your protection in all of my relationships, so I am surrounded by loving and kind people. That's what this masculine is doing right now, because this karmic feminine is anything but loving or kind. That's why the Empress is in the reverse. They're losing their ever-loving mind because they won't listen. They refuse to change. They resist change. And they're very entitled to what isn't even theirs. They got their hand out all the time, and they're never thankful for it. They just expect it. No one should ever treat anyone like that. And when they do, they should expect the consequences of losing a good thing. I suspect that this masculine is held on for a really, really long time. Giving and giving and giving and giving and hoping and wishing and praying, and maybe things will get better. But things never do. Things just get worse. Because this karmic feminine resists change. They don't really have empathy for other people. The only time they really have emotions is whenever they're manipulating people with them, or when they're feeling sorry for themselves. This is someone who can't take accountability for themselves or their actions. They blame everything on everyone else but themselves. But they have no one but themselves to blame. How unfortunate. So that is what I have for y'all for today. Thank y'all so much for supporting my channel in all the ways that you do. If this reading resonates with you, please give this video a like so that more people in the collective can see this, so it gets into the algorithms. Because you never know which hurting soul needs to hear a message that needs to come up on their feed. And all it takes is some likes and some comments. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And I hope everybody has a great day. and I'll talk to y'all soon.